today's topic is we're going to take a deeper look at mindfulness. So, I know we touch on mindfulness quite often and meditation, but we're really going to start from the basics so that we can really understand what mindfulness is. So, there are many different areas to mindfulness. You can have mindfulness of breath, mindfulness of seeing, taste, touch, mindfulness of smelling. So today we're going to start with the basics, an introduction to mindfulness. So we're going to play a video first, and it's going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into the topic that we're going to touch on today. So I'm now going to play that for you so you can take a listen.
Mindfulness is being present in the present moment. What does being present really mean? Being present means listening to the sound of the ocean waves. Being present means feeling the wind through the air. Being present means feeling the soft touch of a flower. Being present is being nice to your friends. Being present is patiently waiting for your turn in the line. Being present is listening carefully to what others are saying. Being present means helping others when you notice they need help. Being present is focusing on your classwork and not on when your recess break will be. Being present is enjoying every experience as an opportunity to learn. Being present means realizing that it's okay to make mistakes. Being present is being thankful for your family and friends. Being present is allowing yourself to feel your breath. Being present is being still and letting yourself feel silence.
Okay, so from that video you can kind of get different examples and ideas of what being present and being mindful really means. And the essence is that being mindful means being present in the now. So you're not focusing on the past or the future, you're focusing on what's happening right now, right in front of you, and on keeping that concentration and really that intention and your attention to what is happening in the present moment. So, what do you think mindfulness really is? So, I have a definition here, one of the many definitions, of course. So, it says mindfulness is paying attention to something in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, non judgmentally. So, let's break that down. So, pay attention to something can be anything you choose to pay attention to. It can be a beautiful flower outside, it can be a stone in your hand, it can be your breath, it can be a sound even of the birds chirping, or a gardener next door, or the roadway traffic. So you can really pay attention to anything. Paying attention to your breath is one of the main foundations of mindfulness. It's like the most basic example of being present. You don't need anything else. You can just be present by paying attention to the inhales and the exhales of your breath. In a particular way means that you're focusing your attention and your intention on that specific thing that you have chosen to pay attention to. On purpose, so you set the intention and you decide to pay attention to this particular thing. In the present moment means right now. Dismissing thoughts of the past and the future, you are focusing on what is happening in the moment. And non-judgmentally means without comparing, without judging, without being critical of yourself. So while you're paying attention to something like your breath, for example, a thought might pop into your head like, I'm hungry. What am I going to eat for the snack? So you observe that thought. You know, okay, I just got distracted. A thought just came into my head when I was trying to focus on my breath. But I'm just not going to criticize myself. I'm just going to observe and let that thought go. And I'm going to get back to my breath. Because it happens. We do think of other things when we're trying to focus our attention on something. So non-judgmentally, non-critically, we let that thought go and we return to our breath or whatever else we were trying to focus our attention on. So how do you feel when you hear this definition? Can you think of examples of how you might do each part of this definition? Think of how you can apply this definition to anything in your day-to-day life. So whether it's doing your homework or bathing your dog or cleaning your room, you can use this mindfulness definition in lots of different areas of your life. I want to bring back up the busy versus calm mind. So do you remember when we made these with Auntie Stacy? So it's a jar with water and glitter. So do you know that we have over 60 thoughts in a day? And that's a lot of thoughts. And with each of those thoughts comes lots of emotions and feelings. So it's no surprise that the mind can get cluttered and the mind can get overwhelmed and feel chaotic. So this is a great way to visualize the mind calming down. So we're going to shake the jar. This is what happens when your mind is worried, angry, distracted, stressed, or your thoughts and feelings are whirling around. So it looks like this. This is what your mind looks like. When the glitter settles, you can see it settling. That's what mindful breathing does for your mind. It clears and calms the mind and settles the thoughts and feelings and helps you to feel relaxed and better able to concentrate. So this is what our brains look like when we are busy, when our thoughts and our emotions and our feelings are whirling around in our heads. And then after we practice mindfulness, like mindful breathing, all of our thoughts really settle down and our mind becomes clearer and more relaxed. So, if you guys want to make one of these at home, it's pretty simple. It's just a jar. If you prefer a plastic bottle, that's okay. So you can just take the label off and then you can put water and different colored glitters. This one has some iridescent and pink. And when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, you can take out your glitter jar. And you can just look at it and you can look at all the glitter settling. It's quite relaxing actually. And it's a good representation of what our minds are like. So how do you feel as you see the glitter swirling around and making the water cloudy? What did you notice as you watched the water clear? Did it bring you a sense of calm and peace? Were you able to calm your mind as the water cleared? Do you feel calmer in your body? Can you relate this to your mind? Can you relate this to the example of your mind being cloudy with thoughts and feelings and emotions, pretty busy and chaotic? And then when you stay still and you practice some mindfulness and you pay attention to your breath, or you pay attention to anything else that you choose to pay attention to, the birds, a rock in your hand, a pretty flower, you can see the anxious or the scared or the worried thoughts in your mind will subside. Can you think of a time when your brain was cloudy? This could be a time you were stressed at school, or you were having a disagreement with your sibling or friend, or you couldn't figure out how to build a puzzle. A time when your mind was cloudy, when you were feeling overwhelmed or stressed or worried. Can you think of a time? You might have been angry, scared, chaotic, or stressed. Can you think of some times when your brain was clear? When you felt calm and relaxed, and you were able to concentrate, and you were able to pay your attention to what was in front of you. So this little item here is quite handy. It's a really good tool for coping with cloudy minds. Okay, so we're going to put this away for now, and we're going to go into another part of mindfulness that I wanted to explain, and that is setting an intention. So your intention refers to what you are paying attention to. For example, your intention might be to pay attention to your breath, like I mentioned before. When we are mindful, we bring our attention back to our intention over and over again. So when we are mindful, we bring our attention back to our intention over and over again. If we are looking at a beautiful flower, if that's where we are paying our attention and setting our intention, we might notice, oh, look at that leaf over there. That is a pretty leaf. It's blowing in the wind. And you realize, okay, I just got that distraction, and I'm going to bring my attention back to my intention, which is mindfulness, which is looking at this beautiful flower, because that is what I set as my intention. By doing this over and over and over, we are training our brains to act in a specific way, and this is going to help us throughout our entire lives to keep bringing our attention back to our intention and to focus on the present moment. It's really, really, really amazing for our brains. It does wonders. It trains our brains. It wires our neurons to make our brains stronger and better. Keep awareness of your intention present in your mind. So you have to keep your awareness on your intention, whether that is a flower or a sound or a smell or a touch or a taste. And when you notice when other thoughts come into your head, so you notice when you might kind of get distracted, or you might look at something else, or you might think of something else, or you might smell something else, or if you're paying attention to your breath, you might start thinking of something else. So it's pretty normal for thoughts to just pop into our heads. We don't have to criticize ourselves for these thoughts. We can just acknowledge them and we can let them go. So thoughts are like clouds, right? And I'm sure Auntie Stacey went over this with you already. So thoughts are like clouds, and they come and they go. So as they come, we notice them, we acknowledge them, we accept them, and we let them go. So we don't have to grab them and think and hold on to them. We can look at them passing through, and then we can witness them leaving. So that's what happens when you set your intention. You will notice that other thoughts come into your mind, but you don't have to react to them. You can acknowledge them, and you can witness them, and you can let them go. So this is what the mindfulness practice is all about. There's another concept that I thought was pretty interesting I wanted to bring to your attention today. It's called being aware of awareness. So you notice what is arising when it's arising. This includes being aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your sensations, and your physical surroundings. So you can see that all these concepts are pretty linked, and some of them are similar to others. They're just called different things. So setting your intention and placing your attention on your intention is mindfulness. And then the clouds and the thoughts that come on by that you acknowledge and you let go, that action is called being aware of awareness. So you are aware of what is arising as it's arising and you let it go. So paying attention to what is happening in the present moment, focusing on our intention and acknowledging and dismissing other thoughts helps us to be mindful in the present moment. So you observe and accept what you observe. You may be trying to focus on your breath and you hear a bird outside. You acknowledge that there is a bird outside and you let it go and you come back to your breath. So your intention is what you have set your attention to. So you just keep bringing yourself back over and over and over and over again to your intention. It is really a practice and nobody's perfect at it. Nobody gets this really well because we are human. And like I said, there are 60,000 thoughts a day in your head. That is a lot of thoughts. So it is normal for thoughts to come in, but we just acknowledge it and we let them go and we return our attention to our intention and we focus on what we have set our intention to be. And this really helps our mind to just get some downtime so that we're not always racing with thoughts and racing with ideas and racing with emotions. And it's a lot for our minds to constantly be keeping up with. It gets really hard in our minds and it never gets a break. It's like our minds are always running on a treadmill. It's just going super fast. It's not healthy for our minds. It leads to a chaotic mind like this. This is like what our minds are like when they are just running on a treadmill. Thought after thought after thought after thought after thought. No pausing, no breaks, no mindfulness, no intentions. Just lots of thinking. Our brains get really overworked, really tired, really stressed. So it is very easy to get distracted and overwhelmed in today's society. We have so many distractions. We have TVs, we have iPads, we have phones, we have Netflix, we have is a lot of social media, a lot to keep up with, homework and school and peers and friends. Sometimes it just feels like it never ends, right? It's just one thought after the next. It's like our brains are just constantly racing with thoughts. It is useful to be able to focus all of our attention on one thing, which is what mindfulness is all about, improving our concentration, our memory, and our overall mental clarity. So that is the aim of mindfulness, to make our minds more clear, to improve our attention and our concentration and our memory. And that's what happens when we are mindful and we focus all of our attention on our intention and we are present in the moment, not thinking of the past or the future. We are just here in the now. So to practice what we just learned, let's do the following meditation activity. First, you need to decide what you are going to pay attention to. It can be your breath, a bright painting, a pretty flower, any object in your surroundings, or any object outside in nature. If you're by a window, you can look outside. You can look at a plant, or if you're hearing a bird singing, you can choose that. You can get anything and hold it in your hands. So anything like this can be what you're going to pay attention to. You can just notice how it feels, if it's cold, if it's warm, if it's smooth, if it's rough. So figure out what you're going to pay attention to. You can pick something, and I'm going to give you a few moments right now to decide what you're going to pick. If you can't pick anything, you can always do your breath. That is something you always have with you. Okay, so set your intention to pay attention to this particular thing. I'm going to choose my breath. Now notice everything you can about this thing that you have chosen to focus your attention on. If it's your breath, if it's something in your hand, if it's a sound, if it's a pretty flower, it's a painting. Notice all that you can about it. Really pay attention to it. Focus on it. What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Or what does your breath feel like? Does it feel rapid? Are you breathing quickly? Are you breathing deeply? Really pay attention to what you're focusing your attention on. If it's your breath, feel your heart. Is your heart beating quickly? Is this making you breathe quickly? Can you slow your breath? Take 4 counts for your inhale and 8 counts for your exhale to really extend that exhale breath. Really calms the mind and the body. Notice if you're being distracted by a thought, a feeling, bodily sensation, or something in your environment. Are thoughts popping into your mind? Are you looking at something else instead of that pretty flower that you decided that you were going to pay attention to? Acknowledge any distraction and dismiss it non-judgmentally, without criticism of yourself. Just acknowledge it and dismiss it without judging. Just let it go. It came to your mind and let it go out of your mind. Return your focus to the intended object of your intention. Get back to that breath if you're choosing to focus on your breath. Get back to that pretty flower or that painting or that item in your hand. Notice all of the details of what you have chosen to focus on. Notice how it looks, how it feels, how it smells. Let's take 30 seconds now to really focus again on the item that you have chosen to pay attention to. How did this experience feel for you? Did your mind wander as you did this exercise? What did you notice when you were distracted? What did you notice about what it is you were paying attention to? Did you notice anything new about it? Were you aware of any inner thoughts making comments on the process? It is normal to have distractions and thoughts popping into your head. You acknowledge them and you let them go. That's all part of the process. So we're going to move into a really second short video. Well, not video, but listening video that I'm going to play for you.
Fly with Abel and Phi. In this video, we will try to learn what thoughts really are. Oh, look, bubbles. A good way to think about thoughts is like bubbles. Imagine. Fly with Abel and.
Sorry about that. Right, this one.
Today, I want us to learn something called mindfulness. Mindfulness is noticing what is happening in the present moment. Mindfulness can help us learn to pay close attention to many things. It can also help us calm down when we are angry, sad, frustrated, or have any difficult emotion. Mindfulness can help us notice when we are happy or grateful too. It can also help us focus, and in school, sports, or music. We're going to try practicing mindfulness every day, so even when we don't understand exactly what it is today, we will after some time. There are a couple of very important things that help us be mindful. The first thing that will help us during mindfulness is to let our bodies be very still. Let's try that. The second thing automatically happens when we get still. What is the noise like in here right now when you get still? Yes, it gets very quiet. Now we have still bodies and quiet bodies. That's what we'll call our mindful bodies. Now, let's close our eyes and just sit like that for 1 minute. You did a great job at your first practice of a mindful body. Was that easy or hard? We won't have to be this still and quiet all the time, but often I will remind you to get your mindful bodies on, and this is what you can do.
So if you haven't opened your eyes, you can go ahead and you can open them. That video just kind of summarized again all the stuff we've been talking about. And it summarized that when you are still and when you close your eyes, there's silence. And that's really when all the mindfulness work gets done. When you close your eyes and you're silent and you quiet your mind. And you can do that at any time. You can just do it for a minute. If you're feeling stressed or anxious or angry or worried, you can just sit upright, close your eyes, be still, be silent, and set your intention to anything. Just keep focusing your attention on the intention that you've set, and your mind will settle, and your thoughts will settle, and you will feel so much calmer. So that's where we'll pause for today on our mindfulness aspect of this class, and we're going to do a little bit of poses now. So I tried to pick some poses that we've never done before, or I don't think you've done before, at least not with me. Maybe you did with Auntie Stacey. So don't forget to use your mindfulness skills with your yoga poses. You can focus your attention on the pose, and that in itself can be mindfulness. So let me show you the poses that I wanted to try today. They're pretty simple. So have you ever heard of turtle pose? So that is what turtle pose looks like. So you see, you're sitting and you put your legs to the inside of your thighs, wrap it around, and hold your feet. So I'm going to show you here. Hopefully you can see. So pretty much like, this. So you open your leg into like a butterfly, you put your arms in, around, and hold your feet. This is turtle pose. You can stay here for a few moments. Feels really relaxing, and it's a really good stretch in your hamstrings and your back. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And relax into this pose. Let your body stretch and ease into this pose. Don't forget to breathe and to focus your attention on the pose that you are doing. So this is turtle pose. Oh, that feels good. Another pose that we can do today is pretzel pose. So this is pretzel pose. So don't forget that when we do a pose like this, so this is a really good twist. It's good for your spine and your back. It also detoxes your liver. When you twist like that, you basically wring out your insides and you twist your and you press your liver, and it is a really good detoxification. So you extend one leg. So the leg that's extended, you put that arm back as well, and then you twist to that side. So you're twisting to the side of your straight leg. The leg that's bent, you have that same arm pressed against it, and you put this arm back and you twist and you look back. Don't strain your neck, make sure nothing hurts. But you use this arm on this leg and you twist and you turn your neck back. Don't forget your deep breaths as you twist your spine, spinal twist, and you detoxify your organs. 2 more breaths. Try the other side. Extend the left leg or the other leg to what you've done before. You put your arm on your right leg or the bent leg and twist. Look back, straighten your back, and take a few deep breaths. Two more breaths. Oh wow, that feels so good in the back. Feels really good. Okay, so the next one we're going to try is horse pose. So this is called horse pose, but it's kind of like goddess pose, if anybody has ever done goddess pose. So what you need to do is you can put your legs hip width apart or as wide as your mat, stoop down, go like this, and you can just press down to where it feels comfortable. If you want to open your legs even more, you can. So this is horse pose or goddess pose. You look like a goddess. So you can sink your hips down and you feel that nice stretch in your bum area and in your legs and your thighs. If you want, you can extend your arms up. This feels so good. And take a few deep breaths here. With each exhale, you can maybe sink a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. So when when you're here, so you don't want to stick your bum too far out. You want to tuck your tailbone in and keep your spine straight. So don't overextend your bum or your tailbone. You want to tuck it in. That's to protect your back. We can do airplane. So airplane is really warrior 3. So come on to your feet close together. You can lift one leg. We can start with our right leg. And we can extend forward into airplane. So you look down to keep your balance, and you can focus your attention on any item that is not moving. So that's called a drishti, and it really helps you to keep your balance. 2 more breaths here. And let's try the other side. Woo. Some sides we'll always have a side that's harder to balance on. I think this is my side. So look down, stretch your arms out, stretch your leg back, airplane, or warrior 3. Woo, whoa, that's a tricky one. And you really feel that in your legs. What about donkey pose? So we're going to be on our feet and then bend over to touch the floor with our hands and raise one leg. So this is donkey pose. Feel a really nice stretch in the standing leg. Do it from the side. Donkey pose. Try to straighten your standing leg. And if you notice, my hip was to the side. So we want to kind of bring our hip downward, facing downward. And the other side. Whew. It's a really good stretch for your hamstrings. Now the last 2 poses are on the mat before we get down into Shavasana. So we have this, which is puppy pose. So it's not a dog, it's a puppy. So get onto your knees and put your head down like this. Like a playful puppy. And you can really feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. Take a few deep breaths as you feel that stretch in your back. Oh, this one feels really, really, really good. And our final pose is resting butterfly. So it's like lying down with your legs, with your feet together in butterfly position. So if I can try to show you, hey, like this, and then relax. Resting butterfly. Oh, feels so good. It feels like a nice stretch in your groin area and your legs. So you guys stay there for a few moments, and this is where we're going to do our final piece, which is Shavasana is going to be in resting butterfly. If you don't like resting butterfly, you can extend your legs like regular Shavasana. And this is our final video.
with Abel and Phi. Lay in bed or stay sitting. Keep your body relaxed. Reach up above your head, stretching your arms. Stretch your body very tall. Now, bring your arms down and let your arms relax. Place them at your sides loosely. Again, bring your arms over your head, but this time, breathe in as you reach up. Stretch. And now, breathe out as you relax and place your arms at your sides. One more stretch. Arms up, breathing in. And relax. Arms down, breathing out. Sit now and let your arms rest at your sides. See how your breathing can relax you by taking slow, deep breaths. Breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out slowly. Breathe in and out. Keep breathing deeply and slowly. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Feel your hands moving up and out as you breathe in, and down as you breathe out. Feel your hands moving with your chest and stomach, gently moving in and out with each breath. Bring your hands back to your side, and let's keep noticing how we breathe. Now you have finished this breathing relaxation. Stretch your muscles if you want to, and let your body wake up. When you are totally awake, you can get back to the rest of your day.
You could take a few more deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. You can even sigh it out. You can take a deep breath and a sigh. And if you chose to do that lying down, you can roll to your side and then slowly push up into a seated position. So for today's take-home assignment, I wanted you guys to spend a few minutes journaling on what mindfulness means to you. What did you learn from today's class? How do you feel like you can be more mindful on a day-to-day basis? What do you think mindfulness is? Is what you learned today different to what you thought mindfulness was? What would you like to improve or change by being more mindful? How do you think mindfulness can really benefit you, make you happier and calmer and more relaxed? Journal about the mindfulness skills you've learned so far, and which one you might like the most, or which part of this really resonated with you. You could even draw a picture of what mindfulness means, or a picture of what your day would look like if you were more mindful. So that's the take-home assignment today. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you learned a lot, and I hope now you have a better understanding of what mindfulness is. And next week we'll touch on another part of mindfulness. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Have fun, enjoy whatever it is that you do. Namaste.